Boy, am I tired. I should go and take a nap. Kill yourself. It's Dragon Ball time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today I'm going to have a look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Funimation Bandai Tamashii Nations Bandai Collector Shop, and all these logos down here. It's just like, wow, holy crap. Sponsored by Heat-Tap. I want to bring you Nappa from the SH Figuarts. And what the hell is this down there? What is this? My box is faulty. I need a new box. Who cares? As long as the figure's not faulty. So there's the box. This is the same style box that SH Figuarts has done with all these Dragon Ball figures. So you got some more pictures of Nappa and black and white. Oh, classy. But enough about that box stuff. Let's have a look at the figure. Hey Vegeta! Hey Vegeta! Hey Vegeta! Vegeta! Oh my god. I've been waiting on this one for so long. He kept pushing back and pushed back and pushed back, and now he's finally here. Another SH Figuarts Dragon Ball big guy. You know? Yeah, we all got them Gokus, we got them Vegetas and all, that's fine. But finally, somebody in a completely different scale and more muscular. How much of a different scale? Well, let's have a look at the size of this fine gentleman. There's nothing gentleman about Nappa, but he stands at about 18 centimeters to the top of his head. There's a fly in my background, which means a little over 7 inches. Overall Payne detail, I mean, once again, as you can tell, there's no shading going on. That's the current SH Figuarts Classic. We don't have shading. I'm not gonna rag about it any longer because by now I'm almost used to it. It's not a good thing, but whatever. The face. I like this expression on his face. That's very nicely done. However, I do not know why he's so dark around the eyes. It seems kind of weird. The goatee and the teeth, everything looks good. I mean, it's just this face. We have a couple of other faces. But overall, it's good. It's just like, once again, the dark around the eyes, that seems a little bit weird. As for the rest of it, you got your typical classic Saiyan warrior armor, which looks good, and it's all made in like a flat black and brown going on in the shoulders. So they really made a good choice paint-wise. It's not shiny, it's very muted, and it's good. That's how it should be. Going down to the tail, his butt is a little bit more shiny. Not too much, once again. That would be cloth, and it looks like cloth. I mean, it's obviously plastic. Duh. I'm not saying this is cloth, but in the show it would be cloth. Then we got the tail going around over here. Could use some shading. I said I wasn't gonna rag about that, but that's just one of the things. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't know how well that translates on the camera, but there's something going on. It looks like shading, but it's probably not shading because it doesn't really apply to the other side. It looks like it's just dirty. It just looks weird. I don't know, like a happy accident. Speaking of which, the paint job is clear for the most part. I mean, it looks good, but then you go in deeper. You go in very deep, and you know, you have some problems, some small mishaps here and there. Like I'm saying, I'm zoomed in very much, so I'm not. It's not really a complaint, but that's just something to consider if you want to pick this guy up or not, and if you're easily turned off by some small issues here and there. That's really it. I mean, there's not much more to talk about. You have the boots, which are once again a little bit more shiny. Tips of his shoes, this thing going around, which is connected. That looks pretty weird. That might be a problem since you now can't rotate it around. It looks like it's going up over here, but I mean, you move the foot around. It's good when the foot is straight. But if you move it around, it's just kind of hanging around over there, so don't really care for that much. What, 9,000? Now the articulation the head has some very good motion actually. First of all, goes forward, back, side to side, can bring it out like that. And I'm holding on to the neck because the neck naturally moves around. Neck naturally, blah, 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 blah. Say that 3 times fast. Neck naturally, neck naturally, neck naturally. Alright, I did it. Yay. Also rotates around. I mean, the neck itself doesn't rotate around. I think that's on a hinge because it's just going back and forth. I can't really move it around. But the head itself is good enough to get the job done, so that's not a problem. Now we have the shoulder pads are on hinges. The shoulder itself is on this big butterfly joint. I love it. It looks good. It looks pretty good. I mean, the conversion over here, for a lot of the figures you have like big holes, more like holed out over here, so it sticks together. But he doesn't, as a result, I'm now realizing that he can't get his arms down straight because he's so big. I don't have a problem with that, so there you go. But you can ring it back and forth, and you have a pack that goes into a ball that's connected to the shoulder like this. You can rotate it around over here as well. You have bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, which I like the way they molded this. Of course, it will not cover up all of it, but it still looks pretty good. I mean, looking at the options they had, they chose a pretty good one, is what I'm saying. Fist rotates around, you can bring it forward, back, and once again, fairly decent motion, fairly good motion. I was expecting a little bit less because you have this whole thing that blocks it, but they have like a big ball in there, which I think connects into another pack to the fist. Oh, it connects to another ball joint actually. Okay, that's why it works so well. Once again, pretty nifty ideas for the big guy over here, not the same old stuff they have with all the other dudes. Chest has some very nice motion as well. We don't have any gaps. It's molded high enough so you don't leave any gaps, and you get some good motion out of it. Now the torso itself, however, barely anything. You can wiggle it around a little bit. It's also nicely molded and painted under there, but for the rest of it, it's just like, that's it. That's all you're getting. You can rotate it around as well. Could probably go all the way around, but I don't want to force it too much. These little panels over here are all on hinges, so you can get that up. And by the way, the legs, I kind of skipped over that because I didn't see it when I looked at all the detail, but wow, look at all the muscle work that's going into here. He did not forget about leg day. He never forgot about leg day, by the way he looks like. Now, articulation of the legs it's kind of wonky. I'm not a huge fan of it. First of all, I mean, it's just on a ball over here. You can rotate it around. I mean, the articulation itself, it goes up still nicely. It doesn't go out to the side as much as we're used to, but once again, he's a big guy, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. What I'm not really a fan with is the piece, the floaty piece that's in here, because it's supposed to cover up, but I don't see it covering up a lot. Like, seriously, it's already leaving a gap over there, and of course it's having a gap for the articulation, which is fine, but once again, yeah, I don't see the big point in it. They have like better joints like that, because we've seen them with all the other figures, but once again, big guys, so maybe that doesn't apply so well. Overall, the articulation of it is still good. Now the knees, same like the elbows. I feel like they're molded very nicely, and the feet have also some very good articulation. What is that on? Is that another ball joint going into a ball or something? Can't get it off. I think it's packed in there. You have like some kind of a hinge in there, and a ball that goes into a pack, that goes into another ball. It's magic. I don't want to break anything, so I'm not going to force anything, but just look at this. This is amazing. Back and forth, and we got a toe hinge. And yeah, articulation is pretty good with this guy, actually. We got a couple of different hats. We got the looking to the side, what, 9000 with the veins on it. I like that one very much. Also has like smaller pupils a little bit. Then we just have veiny hat. Kind of yelling, but also smiling. He's in a good mood. And then, of course, we got one with the scouter, because you need that one. And then we got some hands. We got some chop hands, 2 chop hands, and 2 posing hands, where it's just kind of, you know, kind of like a battle pose. Let me move that around a little bit so you can see all of it. And there you got that. And of course, I kind of freaked out about it because I couldn't find it in the box. He has the 2 fingers of doom. No, that's not a sexy thing, but it's he lifts these 2 fingers and an entire city vanishes. That's basically it. I always loved that move. I thought that was so stylish. She's just like, rip, he raises them and people die. And then you got a base with an energy effect. Unfortunately, once again, cheap SH Figuarts for machinations. I hate you. I hate you a little bit for that, because you give me a base and you give me an arm for the energy effect. You do not give me a second arm with a claw, or you do not give me the option and just give me a claw so I can be like, alright, I want to use this on Nappa, I don't want to use the energy effect, so at least they give me a claw. No! You get the base, you get the arm, and it's absolutely useless without the claw, because if I want to use the claw, I have to use one of the bases I have in the box. So it's just like, alright, here's the energy effect. Is that the blast that he shoots from his mouth? Or which one is that? I don't know which blast this is. I'm sorry about that. But it looks very good. It's translucent white over here and goes into a lot of darker shapes. And there's a lot of molding going on also to the fireball. So that's cool, but you know, this... It's just like, well, how much does it cost you to add another arm? Or at least, at the very least, those tiny claws so I can maybe put it on my Nappa. You don't even get a base for him. I mean, he stands well, but I mean, Broly got a base. How about that? Broly got a base with a big ass claw over here, so no love for Nappa, huh? Now finally we're gonna have a look together with Vegeta. As you can tell, this Vegeta's not standing straight up, but it's the Vegeta with the floppy legs, so it's kinda hard to make him stand straight up. He will not stand. He shall not fall. He shall stand. Actually, the other way around. So overall, I mean, looking at this, Nappa's not big enough. Nappa's definitely not big enough. In some shots they look different than other shots. But overall I would say, yeah, I think Nappa should be a tiny bit bigger. Which brings me to the final thoughts. What do I think about this Nappa figure? Worth the wait is the thing that comes to mind because I've been waiting on this for so long. Overall paint and detail, everything looks good, everything looks in place. Of course I complain a little bit about the black lights. It's just, it's a thing. It's not a deal breaker. Same goes for the a little bit more unclean paint job when you're really zooming in hard. So once again, it's not something that you'll notice that much. I really got him props for the articulation. That came out a lot better than I expected. And I mean, accessories are fine. He doesn't have a loose tail, but I don't think he ever had a loose tail. And you can take off the armor, but I didn't really expect it. But I just got some crazy ideas popping up in my head because it looked pretty beat up at the end of it, you know, with the armor all broken. And I mean, I guess you could customize that if you want to. As he stands, I do recommend him. I do think he's a good figure. I do think he's worth it, and I do think he fits. And it's finally something new. It's not another Goku, another Vegeta. Hello. I mean, SH Figuarts has been really kind of lame this year with their new Dragon Ball release. But hey, finally we got this guy. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Nappa wants.